Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Untitled Tarot. Now these are your full moon general readings for the sign that's in the title below. As ever, bulk introduction, timestamp below, but listen to it just once through. Because I would advise that you listen to three of these. Your sun, obviously, your moon sign, because hey, it's a full moon, and your rising sign, as that's the most important to your story. And so watch all three if you've got the time. Now, this is full moon in Virgo, 8 degrees of Virgo. So I'm not going to talk long about the astrology of this full moon, because if you follow the link to the Facebook page to this channel that's in the description below, you'll notice that I've posted a lot of the astrologers' analysis and breakdown and weather forecast videos about this full moon, and they're going to do it better than I do. Also, there's an inbox on that page, so if you want to contact me directly for a personal reading, there's a good way to do it. But this full moon, 8 degrees Virgo, so this moon is ruled by Hariel, the angel Hariel, who represents in astrology long-range vision and purification, which is, I find, a very, very interesting symbol. Because obviously this is all on the backdrop of Saturn square Uranus, the force for tradition and rules and endings, but tradition and rules against the new, the innovative, the chaos elements that Uranus will bring through. So Saturn is ruling this chart like it did on the new moon chart, and I talked about that back in the new moon videos. Now Saturn at 8 degrees Aquarius is now being ruled by Nelchael, who, interestingly, is an angel about eradicating plague and an ardent desire to learn. So it's almost like the Saturn energy is like, yeah, this may be the way we've always done it, and we've got to stay in the way that we've always done it, but we've also got to learn to do it better in these limitations because it's not working. As simple as that. It's not working. Now, as I say, Nelchael or Saturn is ruling this chart, so we're looking at eradicating plague, which you can't deny the symbolism of that one at the moment. But what is interesting is, out of the chart itself, the most talkative angels are Sahalia and then Cahatel. Now, let me just check because I didn't write it down. Sahalia is ruling both Venus and Lilith, and Cahatel is, Cahetel, sorry, I should say, is ruling Pluto and Chiron, like I think Cahetel has been doing for a while. Now, the conversations that are going on here is Sahalia represents letting go and mental force. So it's eyes on the prize. That's where we're headed, and all this other stuff is not necessary. Whereas Cahatel is all about diffusing negative energy. And as I say, those are the two most talkative angels in this chart, theoretically, all subservient to Nelchael in this chart. However, they are pretty much talking to all the planetary degrees, all the other angels at the moment. So it's almost like the king says one thing and the advisors are going, are you sure? Are you really, really sure? Do you not think there's a better way of doing it? What if you think about this way? What if you think about that way? But I think there's a better way of doing it. And they're going around the royal court and they are building up support, or they're acting like the chief whip of a political party, doing exactly the same, drumming up the support. Have I got your vote? So there's also this is directed, or the spotlight of this conversation is the moon, Hariel, long range vision and purification. That's the agenda that they are putting on the table in front of Nelchael, or Saturn. And it's really interesting because the moon is quincunx, or I should say, as Rick Levine would say, quincunx Saturn. So Saturn doesn't really know what the moon's on about at all. You know, it's almost like, yeah, newfangled stuff, not my thing. But it is necessary, and that's why we have the this influence of Sahalia with letting go, and then Kahatel just keeping everything calm, diffusing the negative energy. Yes, that's going to be awkward, but we can do it. And Sahalia, with their mental force, can go, hell yes, we can. Well, maybe not hell, they're an angel, but oh yes, we can do this. So it's really highlighting an agenda shift. Now, the astrologers will also have mentioned it's good for relationships, this full moon. Again, go and watch all the astrology videos that I've posted. I'm looking at it from the degree angels level, this is, it's like that tagline, things will never be the same again. We are setting the agenda for the new world. We have a new world. I've not heard that phrase, the new normal, so much recently, but there's still a lot of political agenda to try and make the old normal return. But let's be honest, it's not going to happen. It is a new world. It's a new world every day. Oh, I'm sure that's a song. But it's a new world every day anyway, but it is very much a new world. And Saturn, in its square to Uranus, in its quincunx to the moon, is, I'm almost seeing, desperately trying to hold things together, which I think is quite, yeah, look at the news. Saturn is definitely trying to hold things together, and at some points it's succeeding, and at some points it's fading. But the counsel of the angels here is to try and just let's make this process a bit easier. Now, what is interesting with Saturn as well is this, where have I written 8 degrees Aquarius? This is Spider-Man's Saturn. This is the Saturn on the first publication date when Spider-Man first hit the stands back in 1960 something, which I completely forget off the top of my head. But there is that message, with great power comes great responsibility. So Saturn is almost forced to accept that things have to change somewhere. And of course, Saturn is in Aquarius. It is looking more towards the future. It is looking to expand, to work with the community. Now, the symbols, after I'd figured all this out, I went and had a look at the various symbols for 8 degrees Virgo. And yeah, you'll have to forgive me. It's obvious I'm reading from the screen. So first we'll start with the inside degree, a man mixing cement. So we've got this image of, if you're mixing cement, you're building something, you're creating something. But the explanation of the image says jammed tight with concepts, thinking about what you are doing, interpretations, evaluations, opinions, and surmises, void of heart force, believing in progress, bent upon success. You strictly, rigidly carry out what the mind dictates. It goes a bit dark here. A form of ignorance that is very clever. Something missing in the soul. Compensations on top of compensations. Exceedingly busy, hyper with plans, projects, and enterprises. You're very good at achieving results. Riveted with to the phenomena, but prone to casting shadows that come back to haunt. So again, we see the reason for that influence of Cahatel, of the diffusing the negative energy, because everybody wants the world to return to normal really, really quickly. But that ain't going to happen, or at least the old normal ain't going to happen. But I love that, just that one image of the man mixing cement. This is the point where we start building. The new moon was, if I remember correctly, was all about finally integrating and starting to act on all the lessons that we've learned during the Capricorn cluster and 2020, which I think is very nearly ended. Well, or at least March 2020 has very nearly ended. Well, we may be in the 450th of March, but you know, we can see the turn of the page coming. Now, the Sabian symbol is equally as intriguing, and this one more encouraging. So the Sabian symbol is an expressionist painter at work. The interpretation saying about boldly breaking new ground. We must carve out our own path according to our own sense of who we are and what only we can do. Our right to be unique and our ability to express in this uniqueness creatively must be asserted. We must take it. It cannot be bestowed by a teacher. It is only the potential to be original that is a given in life. Originality itself must be assumed. Life is risky and we have to live with that. So again, there's that balance of, you know, with great power comes great responsibility, and the fact that things need to change. Uranus is going, oh yeah, change, change, bring change. But again, Uranus, that's its natural spirit. In Taurus, that change is not really as fast. Some astrologers say that Uranus in Taurus, it's almost like it's, yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It's probably thinking about it wildly, but not going to do it. And then, bam, that's where the lightning strikes, because it just can't hold back anymore. Now, there is a thing called seed degrees and fulfillment degrees that I've learned from a blog, John Sandback, I think his name is. But for this full moon at 8 degrees Virgo, the where things come to a head for whatever is stated here or set into motion here. So stated as in a natal chart, or set into motion as in, you know, just the mundane transit chart. The fulfillment degree is 13 degrees Gemini. So I rather think that that is a point to be watching out for when other planets come to pass 13 degrees Gemini. The other interesting things that I noticed, Mercury, 13 degrees Aquarius. This is and of course I'm going to talk about comics and magic. This is the Mercury of Grant Morrison. Now, if you are familiar with Grant Morrison as a writer, superb writer, really likes to put layers upon layers upon layers of what it is that he's putting forward. You know, whether it's his signature series, The Invisibles, which went really deep into all sorts of woo-woo, or just his time on the Justice League of America, where it was like big concepts that would stick with you and you'd still be thinking about them several days later. Also, Israel Regadi of the Golden Dawn, this is his Chiron. So without diving into the details of Israel Regadi's life, there's that opening for disciplined magical healing is what I'm seeing from that, because that's how I'm assuming Chiron can be interpreted within Israel Regadi's chart, or at least taking it out of his chart and looking at it with the rest of the world. So these readings, they are same as ever, by sign. It's the gods that play reading. We look at the gods that are supporting you during this period, and we look at the more archontic forces, or the gods that aren't really gods. Their energies designed to suppress you and keep you away from your glorious destiny, soul function, soul purpose, yes, soul function, which will be on the top row of the reading. it is a look at the energies. You can ask a question like I'd normally ask you to within your monthlies, but I ain't going to guarantee that there will be an answer. And again, like any form of tarot scope, it's either it makes sense to you or it doesn't. And if it doesn't make sense to you, then it's probably not for you. This is a YouTube reading. I am not sat with you face to face. So it's either going to confirm what you already know, stroke success, suspect, give or take the influence of confirmation bias, or it's not. And if it's not, then you can probably ignore it. Or maybe just think about it and then forget about it unless something occurs that makes you go, oh, yes, we know a song about that. So obviously, like, share, subscribe, join the Facebook page, because that way it's a one-stop shop for all the astrology videos as well as my videos. And like I say, you can contact me there. Subscribing to the channel really does help the channel. Liking helps the algorithm boost the video. I'm sure you know the YouTube politics by now, so if you're so inclined, please do help my YouTube politics, or Google politics, as Chris Witecki calls it. That's everything. I've waffled long enough. Let's crack on with the reading. Cheers. Okay, Gemini, this is a really curious reading. What this is telling me, and I think I'll change cameras for this bit already because I want you to see my eyes as I say it. What this one is telling me is make a mistake. Throw caution to the wind. Just do it. You don't have to think everything out. You don't have to analyze. Oh, yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Gemini ruled by Mercury. But yeah, you don't have to think everything through. You don't have to work it all out beforehand. If it feels right, do it. Simple as that. Do it. And think big. So the gods on your side here. We have Orpheus with faith. Hades with death, bringing something to an end, bringing on some form of transformation, but only its transformation with a definite ending of something. We have Epimetheus with carelessness, which is the bit where Epimetheus didn't think things through. When he was assigning positive characteristics to all the animals, he ran out of things to give once the human race turned up. He's like, I've got nothing for you, because he didn't plan. He invited Pandora into his home and he accepted her gift of the box. So, you know, not great, not known for his positive impacts, but here Epimetheus is on your side, and we have Arachne with hubris on your side. Think big. Challenge the gods. And then we have Pomona with plenty. This diving in and doing it, whatever it is, has a beneficial, abundant effect for you. So from, I mean, this is even echoed by the angel card. We have the guardian angel of youth. As I share my enthusiasm, humour and sense of fun, I protect and honour my youthful spirit. And you can protect and honour your youthful spirit by doing something irresponsible. Maybe not so irresponsible that someone gets hurt, but you know what I mean. There's you do something silly, you play, you go, stuff it, all right, let's do it then. So opposing you, we have Athena with wisdom. Whatever this course of action that you're thinking of, that you have supreme faith in, common sense is saying, no, don't do it. No, you should do what you should to fit in to where you are right now. Serenus with shape-shifting. And then we have Orpheus again. Now, the reason I think Orpheus is appearing twice here is here Orpheus represents his music, where he could charm all the animals. And so it's almost like you could be ensorcelled into, like I think I said for Aries, going along to get along. You know, you change yourself to fit in. You protect that which you are told is worth protecting. Not because you want to protect it, not because you value it. This is what I'm getting from Vesta here with home, but that you are told that this is what should be protected and that you have the ability to survive this, all things will come round. So these are the archons. These are the archons pretending to be the gods. Athena, Kernos, I always say Serenos, it's so wrong. Kernos, Orpheus, Vesta with home, and Cailleach as endurance. Cailleach, the immortal survivor, the one who forces the world into dormancy, while she lives on and everything else dies. They are. That's a. Don't do it. Just keep on with the way that things are. Keep on fitting in. Keep on protecting that which you are told is sacred. And I honestly think that you almost think, really, what's the point? Because there's something that you are having faith in. Now, you are protected in this carelessness, in this hubris and great ambition by your friends. And this Sabbat card here is basically look at ritual, look at transformation, and look at finding those of a like mind to you. Now, there is no doubt here with Epimetheus and Arachne, it implies it is a mistake. It certainly looks like it's a mistake, but it's something that you are having faith in. If you've got that amount of faith, do it as long as you are prepared to transform and you are prepared to have the death of something that you know will need to pass away for you to. I'm not saying it's the death of a person at all. No, it's like could be the death of a job. It could be the death of a habit, a plan that you had. You know, there's. I mean, how many of us have experienced the death of our holidays over the last year or so? Epimetheus here is clarified by the Wheel of Fortune. Take the chance. Never mind what common sense says. Take the chance. Take the chance and allow something to pass away that gives you a little bit of time, rest, and recuperation. It stops you constantly having to change who you are, change your shape to function in the world as it is. How curious. Arachne here, representing hubris, has the Temperance card. It's almost the angels watching over you. Is that one of the meanings of the Temperance card, I feel. And there's that. So, okay, it's almost like by doing something careless, by doing something that where you've just gone, stuff it, I'm going to do it, that you have faith in, you are bringing balance back, because this top row, by very definition, is never balanced. This is the archons pretending to be the gods and feeding from you in the process of that. Whereas here, there is, honestly, it is saying stuff it, do it. Even the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, Umabel, affinity and friendship, again talking about seeking out like-minded people that will support you, because you are being supported. So even if it is a mistake, if you have the faith in it, do it, because the rewards The emotional rewards certainly are great here, and the healing that is on offer is great here. But that healing is found by cutting something out. It's found by that transformation, that death of something. But yeah, if you think, even if you think it's a mistake, if you want to do it, do it. And that's this message, Gemini. I wish I had this. That was uncomfortable. But this is what the cards are saying. You know, so be careless. If you believe in it that much, go and do it anyway. You're probably wrong, but it doesn't matter, because your wrongness here will bring you to the right place. That's actually really quite nice and comforting. If only some of my signs get the same amount of divine grace. Okay then, Gemini, I will see you on the monthlies whenever they get out. Comment down below if this means anything to you. But even if it's a mistake, do it. Cheers.